I recently just onboarded a brand new one-on-one student who's a bit more experienced. So in this video, we breeze through some of the Webull platform execution, but most importantly, we dive into the strategies and setups. And I show him how to maximize profits with my setups and minimize losses as well. I also show him a penny stock setup that actually is profitable to go for 100%. This video is really for any of you guys who have a larger portfolio. If you're a beginner or even more advanced, and you want to see what it's like to train with me one-on-one, this video is going to give you a really good idea. If you guys are interested in that, the link is down below. Enjoy the video. So let's go ahead and get you set up for the Webull indicator. Are you in a good position where you can share your screen with me? I just want to make sure we got Webull set up for success as well.
Yeah, let me just share that.
Okay, so we got the white candlesticks. Is that what you prefer?
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I prefer the way I have the layout right here, but you could just check the rest of the settings if you want.
Okay, so we got the top gainers, we got the quotes, that looks good. Chart profile, news, messages, yep, all of that looks good. Okay, so for Turbo Trader, let's take a look at those settings real quick.
All right, sure.
So right now, big thing for you, since you're going to be eventually moving up in position size, if you click on Buy at Ask, you were using Thinkorswim before. Okay, you already got the 3-cent offset. Is that what you were using over on Thinkorswim as well?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. That's going to work well for you as you start to move up in position size. Anywhere from 1,000 to 5,000, you typically don't see a problem with buy, ask, sell, bid. But if you start to move up more than that, that limit offset is definitely going to help you a lot. And do you have that set up for sell bid as well?
No, I didn't. I should put that on there, right?
Yeah, you should 100%. And sell bid is even more important because sell bid is what you're going to use on a losing trade. And if anything knifes down on you, you want to have that limit offset. So, you know.
What do you usually put? 5 cents or what?
Yeah, no, 3 cents fine. 3 cents is good. Yeah.
All right. Is it negative, minus, or?
No, that's fine. How you got it? 3 cent. Yeah. And then just click on done.
All right.
Okay. And then we got extended hours turned on all of those. So for quantity settings, let's go back into Turbo Trader settings and let's take a look at quantity settings down there at the bottom. So you'll hear me say sometimes we just have a better advantage in some trades. So for that one, let's turn that to yes.
Right.
And then let's do, if you're going to be starting off with 1,000, let's turn that to 2,000. And then click on order confirmations. Show order confirmation. Yeah, we got that turned to no. Okay, so that's perfect. Let me zoom in. What else? We got cancel all current stock. We got flatten. That works perfect. Sub orders is turned on. Okay, that looks good. You can hit done.
All right.
Okay, and then we got the volume indicator on. You got position down at the bottom, performance. We got orders today. Right click on orders today. I just want to make sure that you have on where it should say like show close positions, and then it should say on. Is that turned on for you?
Where's that at?
It should be if you right click on positions.
Okay. Yeah, have it on right there.
Okay, perfect. You got that turned on as well. Okay, good deal. So that works. And then right now we don't have any indicators on the chart outside of volume. That works good. Okay, so now we want to set up your custom dollar volume indicator. So let me grab the code for you real quick. So up there at the top. Yep, perfect. Yeah, I got it. Okay, so. Okay, all right, brother. So let's do this. If you could share your WAP screen with me.
All right, let's go.
So there's a couple things that I'm working on. Over on the left-hand side, if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see setups with 75% win rate. If you click on that, that's going to be a Google Doc for you. So in this right here, there's all of the setups that I'm going to go over with you. You can go through there, and there's like criteria for each and every single one of these setups. And also, too, there's a quick video that breaks down every single one of them as well. So we're going to be going through this. And then also on the left-hand side, you see where it says Andrew's Breakout Dashboard. It's going to be right underneath setups with 75% win rate. Yep. Okay, perfect. I just want to make sure it's showing up on your end. This report already has all of the filters that you need applied. So up there at the top, just so you know how this dashboard is broken down, I have all of these different filters, variables that I've been tracking. And then down at the bottom is where it's going to actually give you the results as far as the win rate for each take profit, And also too, it's going to show you the ticker at the time the stock broke out, exactly where the candle closed as well. So the biggest thing that I use here is I use this to identify the best take profits. And just so you know, on the green light special breakout, when I was tracking all of these, the first thing that I had to decide on is I needed to decide it on a fixed stop loss, because I was obviously tracking the max percentage that we could have got. So I was like, I got to make a decision on what the hard stop loss is going to be. So for the 1 minute green light special, I knew I was going to be getting in a little bit higher than a normal 5 minute breakout. So I decided on a fixed stop loss of 20%. So all of these stats that you see are with a fixed 20% stop loss. Also, this is in the message that I sent you as well. So a couple of things right here. So number one, for you specifically, we're going to be starting off with $1,000 in position size. Let me ask you this just as a refresher, and I want to make sure I put this in the notes as well. What's the main goal for you? Where would we like to be on a monthly basis? Because I know you're starting off with a little bit of a bigger portfolio than my other one-on-one students. Where would we like to be on a monthly basis? Because we can reverse engineer this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking long term. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking. I mean, I'm not really set on like a dollar amount, but I mean, eventually, once I see your system and all that work for me or whatnot, then that's I'd like to see it like 3K and then grow it right from there. 3K a
Okay.
month, but I'm
Yeah.
not. That's not my expectation right off the bat. I mean, because I'm gonna be cruising in on with like $1,000 position size.
Yeah.
See how that goes for like a week or
Okay.
so, and go to 2 and then 3, and then and then I'll just ramp up from there.
Yeah. So what I want to do is I want to reverse engineer that, because at the end of the day, we're kind of working with numbers here. And so let's go through what we can do here is we can reverse engineer this. So the very first thing that I want you to do, one way that we can make this strategy more profitable, if right underneath ticker near the top left-hand corner, do you see where it says like now,
Right.
down there where it says customize TP percentage, just so you know, brother, you can customize that number. You can change it from 10% to 50% to 60%. Right. So you can type in whatever you want to see in order to see if it's a profitable take profit strategy. Now, average R is like, are you familiar with average R at all?
You just go over it. I am, but yeah.
So average R is just an easy way for me to identify and take a look at these take profit opportunities and see which one is the most profitable without me having to go through net profit for every single one of them. So the one with the highest average R is going to be the most profitable strategy. So as you can see right now, 15% has an average R of 0.32, 10% has an average R of 0.2. So that tells me that 15% right now is the more profitable take profit strategy than 10%. However, you want to keep in mind that, there's going to be variance. It's really according to how you want to trade. Are you okay with taking a little bit less money to have a higher win rate, to have more confidence, right? Because man, when that win rate goes down, you can start to lose confidence for sure. So up in the top right-hand corner, what I would like you to do, let's change that position size. I think let's realistically change that to $3,000. And these are the trades. So if you go down there near the bottom, you see where it says date ticker. Click on date.
All right, date 2. Where is it?
A little bit further down to the left. It's kind of like on the part where you can actually see.
Okay, right here.
Yeah, click on date right there. And so if you scroll up, you can see I started this on August the 8th, right? So on August the 8th, if you would have took only green light special breakouts, and if you kind of scroll down, you can see how many actually happen on a daily basis. Most of the time, we're looking at 1, 2, and if we're lucky, we might see 3 setups for the green light special breakout in a day. If we would have taken every single one of these trades with only $3,000 from the month of August, which has ultimately been the past 5 months, you would be up right now. If you took 15% profit, your net profit would be 16,950, which means we would be 16,950 divided by the past 5 months. We'd be right at $3,390 on average per month. So that's going to get you really close to where you need to be. Obviously, if we take that position size and we just up that to 4,000 or even 5,000, then ultimately we can get that take profit, or we can get that net profit up even more. So this green light special breakout is going to be bread and butter for you. A couple of things I want to go over. I want to be able to help you identify these in real time, because that's going to be the most important part. One other thing that I really want to show you is I want to show you when to be able to minimize your losses so we can increase this net profit. It was hard for me to put this into a dashboard, but I've crunched some numbers for you, and I want to go over these with you. We can actually make that net profit even higher, because there's going to be other variables that we can look at that are going to cause you to go in with a bigger position than normal. So
Yeah.
okay,
Yes.
over the next 4 to 5 months, that's probably going to net you an extra $4,000 to $5,000 in this strategy. Now, I want to do the opposite with you. I want to go over something that we can use in order to minimize the losses. So, if you go back into the dashboard that I shared with you,
That makes
so
sense.
with those couple things, if we start to double down on the breakouts, we're going to make an extra 3 to 4 grand at least. And then also too, if we cut these losers a little bit earlier, we're also going to save a couple grand. So instead of making 16 to 17,000, we're probably pushing closer to 22 to 23,000 over the past 5 months. And if we were able to do that, obviously that would be very close to doubling your portfolio. I'm sure you'd be a very happy camper. But $22,000 divided by the past 5 months, we'd be sitting at about 4,400 on average per month, and that's obviously going to be kind of up and down a little bit. And during your downtime, I mean, one of the biggest things that I always recommend is going through these trades and back testing and taking a look at them. So, like for
Mm-hmm.
example, if we wanted to take a look at the most recent breakout that happened, if you kind of just scroll down a little bit, let's filter by date again. So click on date
All
and
right.
let's look at the most recent ones. So we can see the ticker is VERO. The time that it broke out was you're on EST.
I'm on PST.
Okay. Well, all these times are on EST, just so you know. So you're gonna
All
have to
right.
do a little bit of a little bit of math there. So it's 10:05 a.m. EST. The next 1 minute candle close is 265. So that's where we should have got in at. The max percentage from green light is the max percentage gain that we could have taken. So as you can see, that one only went up 7.9% yesterday. That one ultimately ended up being a loser, right? You can see the market cap,
Right.
you can see the free
Yeah.
float, and then over on the right-hand side, you can see your dollar profit loss. If you go in with a $3,000 position, you would have lost $600 on that one yesterday. So yesterday, unfortunately, if we only took the green light special, would have been a red day, which Vero ended up being a Canadian stock. So I'm still kind of up in the air on the Canadians. They're 3 for 5 here over the past 6 months since April. So, but if we want to take a look at that one, let's go ahead and pull that one up. So if you could go back to your Weeble, let's go to yesterday's date, pull up VERO.
All right. That's right.
Yep. So for VERO, yep, I think you're on the correct date. Yeah. Yep, that's perfect. Okay. So you already got the right breakout level set right there. That was going to be the high of 245. So if we scroll over a little bit to the right, you can see where the 5 minute candle breaks above right there. Now on your chart, it's a white candle, but as you can see, this is one of those green light special breakouts where that 5 minute candle closed above it. And then if we switch over to the 1 minute time frame and we were to go to that candle, you would see that the two 1 minute candles also close green. So in that scenario,
You're talking about the in market time right here, right?
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
on that candle right there. That is the main thing for the green light special breakout. When it's breaking out, we have to see that the last
Right.
1 minute candle inside of the 5 minute candle closes green, and
Right here.
the next 1 minute candle closes green as well.
Right.
Yep. So as you can see, that happens. And then unfortunately, we immediately start to get a pullback, and that 5 minute candle ends up closing red, right? In this scenario, this would have been a perfect fucking scenario. Does that make sense?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So that is a very recent example. A couple other things. I put this inside of the report for you as well. Massive direct correlation. One of the biggest things is market cap and free float. That market cap has to be below 50 million. That free float also has to be below 50 million. If you go back and you click on Weeble, just so you know, market cap does not update during pre-market. So all of
Right.
those market caps that you see are not updated. So what I have to do is I have to go through and I have to do a little bit of math sometimes on some of those that are closed. So typically, for
Right.
example, like ATPC, I see it's up over 87% in pre-market. That market cap is 4.5 million. I'll go to ChatGPT and let it help me do the math real quick and see what that market cap is actually like. Now, that market cap is probably sitting at close to like 7.5 million right now. Now it's very
Right.
important on stocks that are close to the threshold. So like if a stock is up let's say 30%, and the market cap is like 37 million or something like that. That's something that I need to do the math on real quick to see if we're underneath 50 million. Because
Yeah, that
anything
makes
underneath
sense.
50 million, just so you know, like on the tracker, it's going to go down as like a green light special breakout. So I got to make sure I trade every single one of those, because if I don't, then it's going to fuck up my stats. I'm going to be looking at the tracker 6 months from now, and I'm going to be like, oh, I was supposed to make this amount of money, but I only made fucking this amount of money because I missed 3, 4, 5 breakouts that I should have took. Does that make sense?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Free float. So there's going to be times, like for example, where you may want to go for a higher amount. You may want to take that stop loss and put it up to break even. Taking a stop loss and putting it up to break even is a very hard thing to track, because not only would I have to track everything that I currently track, but I would also have to say, okay, at what point would we take the stop loss and put it up to break even? And then out of all these trades, how many came back to break even and then bounced and then went for the big run? Which ultimately,
Right.
for me in 2025, was a bit too much for me to track. It might be something that I start tracking in 2026. However, there are going to be times I would love for you to get a buffer first. Like I would love for you to make some money. And then once we get a buffer, there's opportunities for us to go for the higher percentage gains. So if we're going to go for the higher percentage gains, going for like, 40, 50, 60% take profit, I found that the lower the free float, typically the higher the win rate when we're going for 40, 50, 60%. It's typically still not the most profitable strategy, but if you're ever in a scenario where you're considering going for a bigger move, then I would highly recommend that you make sure that the free float is under 10 million. And if it's below 1 million, those are obviously ones that move very, very fast. Those can explode really quick. Okay.
Right.
Any questions on anything so far, man? I know we're going over a lot here.
No. I mean, it seems pretty straightforward.
Okay. Now, another thing, if we go back into the dashboard, there's another thing that I want to show you on the green light special breakout. Which, speaking of, if you really want to maximize profits and go for the bigger runs, what I also track is I track so something that I want you to take a look at is take a look. I mean, obviously 10 to 15% is obviously really good, but take a look at fucking 40% take profit on that one.
Right.
62% win rate, net profit 8,400. You want to see some crazy shit? Go into customize TP percentage and type in 100%.
All right.
We still have a 31% win rate going for 100%. But this is like one of the only times I've ever been able to find any strategy that is net profitable when you go for such a high percentage, like going for 100%. So right now, if we're gonna go for the big move, and I got a guy, one-on-one student, his name is Casey, you'll see him. He always fucking looks for this, and he's been able to hit multiple 60, 70% runners. Right now, if we take a look at the dashboard, brother,
Mm-hmm.
technically, if we're just taking a look at average R, the best take profit on these is currently sitting at 40%. You have a 65% win rate, and your average R is 0.95, which is wild. And if you go in with a $3,000 position size on those, you're looking at a net profit of around 11,400. Right. So, I mean, if we want to be a bit more conservative, we can definitely go for like 15%. The only problem with this one is if we go for 15%, super high win rate, but you can see the net profit gets cut in half drastically. You go from making 11,400 to 5,850, right? We ultimately would love to hit 40%, but what I've found in the past, I did this a lot this year, is when we go for the higher win rate, right now, obviously it's the best. There's going to be variance in this strategy as we get more data. And we might go 3 or 4 fucking trades in a row on this halt special that don't hit 40%, but they ultimately hit 15%, right? And then the best take profit is ultimately going to change here over the next month or two. So what I found is a lot of times the best move is to be a bit more conservative, right? So definitely locking in
Right.
15%. If we can get more, and this thing just keeps bonering up, then ultimately we try to get more, but we lock in 15% at least, right?
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
what are you saying? Like the skill out of it?
Yeah, or, I mean, we can scale out of it. That's an option. What I would recommend instead of scaling out is, because ultimately, if it continues, a lot of times what you'll see is they'll just continue to get halted up and up and up.
Right.
We would like to keep that entire position. If it just keeps getting halted up, I would drag my stop loss up. So as soon as I
Okay.
hit 15%, like I'm probably dragging my stop loss up to like a lot of times I'll take a look at the order book. So I'll take a look at where the biggest buy
Right.
orders are and put my stop loss right underneath that to try and use that as
Right.
support. Sometimes I use the previous like candles wick down. Like if we have any type of support on the 1 minute time frame, I'll use that. It's one of those things where when you track your stop loss, I don't have the data on that to give you the
Mm.
perfect area to track that stop loss, but those are the levels that I typically use. And we don't always nail it perfectly. Sometimes I get kicked out and then it makes the big move and I'm like, fuck it, whatever. At least it was a winner, you know? That makes sense?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Good deal, brother. So we went over a lot right here. If it's cool with you, like you want to jump into the next strategy as well, this is the green light special breakout. This is going to be a big one, but you're a bit more advanced and you're catching on quick. So I'd like to jump into at least one more dashboard with you if that's cool. You got time?
Sure. Yeah. Let's go
Okay.
for it.
Yeah. So in that message that I sent you, click on the
All right.
next one.